push it away. Okay, so one quick thing, which again, hopefully this solves questions or answers questions that may have occurred. When we get here and we're struggling for pressure, it comes from two spots usually. One is that the wedge that I'm using with my outside knee, so his left leg, my left thigh, is too low, and like I'm down by his butt, and then you're like, oh man, this is hard. Right? I want the fulcrum to be at the knee joint, and this is going to be true of any joint lock. Like if we're doing a direct, like as opposed to a rotational, right, like an extension-based lock, the fulcrum should be pretty much right at the joint. If there isn't a fulcrum at the joint, then you're allowing for a lot of range of motion to absorb the force that you're generating. So I want my thigh here like right at his knee. And so now when I create any amount of lateral pressure, it comes on a lot more. So if you were having a problem with the positioning of your fulcrum, that will probably solve it. And then some people were still just like going back this way rather than leaning laterally, doing an oblique crunch to get the effect. So your row is still, one, you're going against a stronger direction, but also it's just not going to be as powerful as your core in making an oblique crunch. So those are two things that will probably help. Are there any questions unrelated to those things? Everyone was having some success with this? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool, awesome. One other thing I'll mention is that a couple good questions were asked about like, if I'm going here and he starts to maybe build up. So if I'm doing this, I don't know, build up towards me. Because if you turn away from me, you're putting go to your left, go to your right. Right, you notice that doesn't do anything now. Build up this way. You notice that you're absorbing the pressure, right? So because I'm going to my left, if he's able to take the stuff that I'm trying to hurt and move it to the left, if we're both going in the same direction, a lot of the force that I'm generating is being absorbed by that mutual movement. Does that make sense? So if I'm trying to fall down and do lateral pressure, now all of a sudden I can't do lateral pressure anymore because his knee can move up, I can't move back. This doesn't work anymore. So what will happen is as he starts to do that, I just change direction. And now I go more to that direct force of the knee bar, like straight on the knee. So there's no one way to do this. There's just the direction that makes sense for where my partner is moving in space and how can I create immobilization of the hip, a good wedge at the knee, and control of the lever that I'm trying to attack. And now I also know that there are multiple directions. You can break knees several ways, to the side, to the side. The only way you can't break it is this way, all right?
Except for calf side.
I was just going to, you beat me to my joke. I was going to say especially in a calf side. So we're kind of on board with this idea. So now I want you to start to think about, like, we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep moving around. And now let's not have this trapped in here. Let's let it come out. So we're going to go like either side. You can try to stay up here and get back to this and try to finish with a lateral or rotating or direct knee bar. You can fall to either side, but now we're starting with the foot not in the armpit. We're starting with this free. So now that we kind of understand the basic idea of extension and rotation, we want to achieve this with either a knee bar or a toe hold. So I'm going to get into like the specific kind of braking mechanics that we want. So with a knee bar, what I'm looking to do, assuming that I don't have like this kind of lateral pressure, what I would like to do is have some pressure going this way, but also some pressure here. So I want to be controlling the foot as a lever. Like I don't want to just knee bar him like this. This just becomes like, it's almost like my biceps curl and a little bit of my back extension against his ability to move around a whole bunch. I may be able to bite down on his hip hard enough that I get a tap, like that'll probably work, but it's certainly not ideal. What I would like is a lot more rotation, and depending on where he's, like if I start rotating Ken's knee this way, it starts to point away from me. So I want rotation that points the knee at my hip or at my thigh in a way that creates a powerful fulcrum. Is that clear enough? Okay. So for example, if I went here and I started to try to do this, that wouldn't help me at all. I'd have to go to this side, and you felt like a little bit of lateral pressure there. So whichever side I fall to, I would like to put my partner's foot underneath my head on that side. And then I would want to push on the heel to impart some rotation so that I can point the knee at either one of my hip bones or one of my thighs as a fulcrum. Make sense? And so so right now there's a lot of, like, can you build up now? Can you build up now? So that's our test, right? If they can build up, it just means we're doing it wrong. Obviously be very gentle and slow with this pressure. And also obviously don't be a hero with your knee joint in a seminar. Like I should go without saying, but like the week I've had, please YouTube Bonhoeffer's Theory of Stupidity. If you have not seen it, that was my week. It was people like fucking me over with no malice whatsoever, just like galactically stupid and hurting themselves to do it. So anyway, because of that, please don't be that person with your knee. If you feel any pain is too much, strain, tightening, that's your cue to tap, right? So I'm trying to apply pressure. There we go. If it's not working, I'm going to go to the toe hold. And what you may have heard about the toe hold, which is push towards the butt, I'm going to tell you is wrong.
It is wrong.
Yeah.
I affirm you wrong.
Thank you. Not that it can't work, but against flexible people who have mobility, it basically can't work. It's almost calf slicer level of like not functional. What I want with a toe hold is rotation and extension. I am pushing his toes towards his butt, yes, but I'm pulling his heel. You okay? Sorry, I felt bones moving. So I'm pushing the toes towards his butt. Yes, that is a heuristic. But I'm not pushing the whole thing towards it. Now I'm at full extension of my arms. This is certainly not a flex, but my forearms are incredibly powerful for different reasons. And I'm still not going to rely on my forearms to try to break his foot. This is not functional. I need to have my back extension, my biceps, my lats, all within this structure, still creating a strong wedge. I'm pushing his toes towards his butt. I'm driving that same fulcrum against his knee laterally, and I'm basically putting him in a heel hook. This is why the IBJJF rules are so damn stupid. Like, this is the same shit as an outside heel, literally the same mechanism. Any questions on that, guys? So play around with it. Foot is out. You're trying to get the finish. If you can go back to that armpit thing, great, cool. If not, try to get the finish on the knee bar. Try to get the finish on the
Starting with the legs separated.
Yeah. So we're starting on top with the legs separated. All right, let's get to work, guys.